Hey, welcome. How are you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rich Buddy Live Show, where we talk about luxury watches, primarily Rolex watches, Omega watches, fpjourne, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and the like. Hope everybody's doing well. I got the screen nice and bright today, so I can see what I'm looking at. Let's take a look at some watch prices. We're going to start with the rancher's favorite spot, which is anybody know what that is? A watch recon. Check it out. Let's check out the watch recon. All right, let me see if I can dim that screen so I can take these sunglasses off. That damn screen is way too bright. But then it's hard to read the screen. I hate having a dark screen this early in the morning. I just came back from the donut shop for a cup of coffee, so I got all dressed up. And it's already bright and sunny out, 6:30 a.m. Let's check it out. What we got here. Make that screen bigger and see what is cooking. Hopefully my mouse has enough battery life to last us too. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll charge it a minute. We'll use this instead. Okay, first thing that caught my eye is a Panda Daytona clocking in at 36,000 from a private seller. I think that's probably the going rate. That sounds about fair right there. 36,000. Let's see if there's any more. Here's a this was just listed 16 minutes ago. This 116520. This is exactly like the one I sold to one of my listeners. 33,000. Man, I sold it for 16 grand. Can you believe that? But I used that money to buy another watch. I think I used it to buy the Omega Snoopy for 10.5, which is paid in full with that money. So I got to pocket 5 or 6 grand on that deal, with about $1,500 in profit. And the Snoopy watch that I paid $10,500 for is worth as much as this watch. This is interesting. That's a pretty nice high ticket there for an Explorer 2, isn't it? 13,000. This is one of the watches that I should have in my collection, and I don't. I honestly should have had this in my collection as one of my first watches. But I kept going after bigger ones, and which forced me to put some of these, I don't want to say lesser desirable pieces, but yeah, I guess we went after the harder pieces in a way. Actually, to be honest, we just got whatever came our way, to be honest. It wasn't even like that. But I always wanted a white dial, and the picture doesn't do them any justice. They're so crisp. But 13,000, wow. I mean, that really has made a move. I haven't followed the price on this Explorer 2, but something tells me that its price probably didn't fluctuate downward much. It probably went up and held its spot. It's one of those kinds of watches. The really hyped up watches in demand, like a Batman, a Hulk, a Daytona, those are going to go up the most, but they're also going to breathe the most. So when things come down like they have, they're going to come down a greater percentage than a 16570 will from its top. Okay. Because it didn't appreciate as much as a, 116,520 or a newer reference Daytona. There's an unworn olive green, solid rose gold, 57,000. Those go for about 36. I want to say about 36, 38,000 at the AD US dollars. There's the chocolate GMT right here, the root beer, two-tone root beer, 22.7. Wow, that's expensive. Wow, that's a lot. Now, isn't that more than a Batman? Whoa, that's kind of surprising. Look, it's the same as the Pepsi to the left. The root beer. I didn't know the root beers had appreciated as much. That's a little surprising, to be honest. Huh. I mean, regardless of it being a two-tone. Really? The watch is appreciated as much as interesting. Here's a Royal Oak. Well, these are all recent listings, 16 minutes ago. So these were all fresh postings right now. This is good to look at. 15300 ST with the beautiful blue dial. 39 millimeter. 72,000. That's about a $28,000 piece MSRP. I kind of need to make a little note of things I need to do. One of them is I gotta go visit that AP boutique. They got my name down now as an interested person on an actual wait list. They were very nice there. But I think I should show my face one more time to say, hey, yeah, and at least they can say, maybe they look at the list and look at it and reflect on that list once in a while to say, these people have only come in once, tier one, just don't even talk to them until, but somebody who's come in a second time really is a different person than the person who's only come in once, right? That would separate probably a huge numbers of people from each other. people who visited the boutique once and put their name down versus someone who's followed up one more time. I mean, it's been at least a year since I did that, right? That's something I should probably do. Visit AP. And maybe I should even poke my head into Omega. I mean, it's been about, I think, 3 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks since I checked on my Snoopy order. But that pre-order is nowhere in sight at the moment, is what I've been told. So we'll just have to deal with it. Patience. You know, it's paid for. I mean, you know, the fact that it's paid for in full makes me feel like there really isn't much I can do. I mean, if they have the watch to give me, they'll give it to me. You know what I mean? It's paid for in full. Whereas when I flipped out on Patek Philippe, that was a different circumstance. I had a $3,500 deposit on there with them for, man, I can't even remember how long now, but at the time, I think it was 3.5 years deposit. And then they want to refund me that deposit, right? I think they refunded me the deposit at the 2.5 year mark. And then at the 3.5 year mark is when I called them and when I flipped out on them. But that I know they were just passing me up. A different situation. Definitely a different situation. You know, the thing is that with the Patek, in the Patek situation, you can't be sure if the watch is coming to you. And they're just keeping a piece of cheese dangled in front of you after they breached their agreement. They breached their agreement. I mean, I could probably very well take them to court and try to force the sale of a Patek Aquanaut based on that contract and a 2.5 year deposit. That's breach of contract. But, you know, I'm not dealing with that kind of money personally, to where, I mean, in the old days, sure. In the old days, what could I have done? I could have gone and bought an Aquanaut somewhere secondhand and taken 24 credible snapshots and go to court and ask the judge to either force me to sale at of an Aquanaut at retail, and then I would have two, or they can cough up the difference between retail and the secondhand one that I bought. Okay, that would be a very, very plausible situation. That's a very legitimate lawsuit. They breached contract, but you know, you have to be in a wealthy position. I don't even know how I was trying to say it. You have to be in a better off position to do that, because you know I don't want to go pay $75,000 for an Aquanaut, and then go do all of that stuff. But you know what? If I was still making money like I was back in the day, then maybe I would. Maybe I would. I mean, it certainly crossed my mind. I thought of it. I even started preparing some paperwork on that notion, but it just all happened at the time when I started getting really hurt and my income began to fall and all of that stuff. So it was, it's one of those things. Just let it go and move on. Move on to fpjourne, which is what I did. So in a sense, I made the better move. I was forced to make the better move, right? Because despite an Aquanaut being worth, I don't know, what's an Aquanaut worth now? 75 from a 30,000 price tag. So it's got a $40,000 appreciation on it. Well, I straight up used that money to buy Havana, because that's exactly what I did after I got in that scuff with Paddock. Well, actually, it's not Paddock. It's Cherno. So after I got in the scuff with Cherno, which is just a garbage of a retail company. So, right. So if I'm going to get a Paddock, I already have another AD that I've worked with, and they even offered me a hard to get chronograph at the time that I introduced myself. They pulled it out from the back, and he said, if you want an Aquanaut, I could seriously get you in the game for an Aquanaut if you buy this chronograph, which is hard to get too. And to be honest, the chronograph he was showing me was the Blue Dial, one of the best, 5970, I think, or something like that. One of the best pieces, if not the best piece that's out there in by Paddock anyway, for now. But I certainly thought about doing that. I was there. Thought about doing it, tried it on. But nonetheless, I went to Journe, and I to be honest, I really almost did that Paddock deal. You know which watch I'm talking about now, right? Let me pull it up here. I'm fairly certain it's a 5970 now. So let's just talk about that a minute. This is Watch Talk after all. Why isn't this clicking? I'm a little perplexed here. My mouse pad ain't clicking down. Huh. Wait a minute here. Am I dreaming, or pretty sure my mouse pad usually depresses. Hold on. It won't. Huh. Give me a second, guys. We have technical difficulties. Try to iron this out. I know I'm not crazy here. Okay, you know what? We're gonna forego the use of that. You know how the mouse pad usually clicks down. It's not doing it for me. So I can't open another window. So let me switch mice. Oh, you know what? It wasn't the 5970. That one's the leap year. Which one? What's that one called? Let me hold on. Paddock Chrono. 5170. That's the one. I knew I was close. So this is the one. Share screen. Right here. The 5170p. Yeah, right there. So that's the one that I had. I'm still tripping on this little mouse pad. Wow, it doesn't work. Okay, so anyway, the 5170, you know. So I almost bought this that day. But I didn't. Oh, and I was just saying that so the appreciation of if I'm looking at appreciation, I can appreciate the fact that the Havana, which is priced at 36,000, is now worth 100K. So by Torno bumping me out of the Aquanaut, there's no way I was going to buy an Aquanaut and that Journe in the same time period. So I can't be more ecstatic that the Torno deal fell through with the Aquanaut, considering there's a $65,000 gainer in the Havana that is coming to me. So it worked out twice in my favor, you know, twice the dollar amount in my favor, without a doubt. Because what happened to fpjourne since all of this fiasco with Cherno? fpjourne went boutique only. That's it, guys. Boutique only. Man, I need rotator cuff surgery. I'm waiting for rotator cuff surgery now. Another issue. I can't lift my freaking shoulder. Can't lift my right arm. I'm freaking hobbled. Isn't this a beautiful watch, though? This 5170? Look at that sucker. There would have been nothing wrong with getting the 5170 here. I'll tell you that. There certainly would have been nothing wrong with pulling the trigger on this, especially the blue dial. What's up, Detroit? Cool, man. Oh, yeah. The Maiden concert was just amazing. Man, I've got almost 4,000 views on that Iron Maiden video that I posted. Hey, bud, what's going on, brother? I sent you a link if you're available. I always send you a link. Whenever you see me doing a live stream, bud, whether it's solo or not, you can always check your inbox if you want to join for a minute or whatever, even just to say hi. It's I know these times are never good for you, but I always send you a link. You and Clive, You and Clivers. You and Clyde are the only two that I send a link to every single time. Man, you know, whoever you are, dude, I don't like Archie, man. He ain't my friend no more. And I have no interest in that at all. I don't know what the fascination is. What up, Goldfinger? Yeah, if you like Iron Maiden, check out the 3 videos I uploaded. One of them is actually in 4K, and it's pretty phenomenal video. I would say so myself. I probably would have had a second calling in cinematography if I pursued it. The camera work I did on that video is pretty phenomenal. Looks like it was shot by a pro. So the 5170. Yeah, you know what? But text me anytime you want to do a show. I'll make myself available. I'll make sure it happens. You know, I've been itching to want to do one with you for a while. So just let me know. I mean, if you want to do one later today, let me know, man. I'll do my best to make it happen. Let's go back to the Watch Recon. Oh, by the way, and I don't know if you noticed, but I've lost 20 pounds. Look at my face, man. I'm back to normal. Look at that. The double chin's gone. Man, between the last video and this video, I lost 10 pounds. And between the video, a couple of videos before that and this one, I lost 20 pounds. So I'm feeling a lot better, to be honest, after I shed that weight. This is the lightest I've been in a long time. So yeah. Let's check it out. Let's see what else we got here on Watch Recon. So I'm at the donut store a couple of times this week, which that's not going to help to keep my 20 pounds off. But the last time I was there, I got hassled by some guy for being parked in the handicap spot. Like, get the hell out of here, dude. Who the hell are you? So maybe one of these mornings you'll have a story from me where I tase the hell out of somebody with my taser gun. Because I had a conversation with a police officer this morning when I seen him at the donut shop. And he told me, man, keep that taser gun on you. Don't be afraid to use it. I'll shoot someone's ass. $22 G's for a Pepsi. Okay. So nothing else interesting here. What do we got here on this row? A two-tone Submariner date for 18. That's pretty pricey. An Explorer 1 for 9,100. Any old 1016s? So this is all the recent listings. Let's put in an old yeah, this mouse trackpad stopped clicking. What the hell's wrong with that? Let's look at any vintage 1016s and see how my 1016's faring in the watch world. Wow. There aren't even any for sale. There's a Sprite. Man, that's a beautiful watch. That Sprite. It looks really funky with the dial and that's on with the crown on that side, doesn't it? It looks so weird. You know, one or both my boys one day when they're older and if they're into the watch game, they're both going to be after that watch one day, like in 20 years from now, 20 or 30 years from now. My boys are left-handed. Both of them are. They might be seeking this watch out 30 years from now. Who knows how much it'll be by then, So look at that. They've got no 1016s up here. Literally just one for $20,000. Wow. I got to tell you that 1016 I bought with the time appropriate service dial and hands, it's got the most gorgeous patina of any watch I've ever seen. And look at that. There's none for sale. That's amazing. I mean, hey, vintage watch, 1960 something. I mean, it's getting old. There's not as many of these out there. It's literally a matter of time. And as time goes on, the pool of what exists gets smaller and smaller. They get destroyed, they get lost, they get mishandled, they get tossed in the trash. I mean, so many things happen to a watch. They end up in the gutter. Let's go to Chrono 24 to take a look at a 1016 example. There we go. Here's some to check out. There's a nice one in the first spot, number one spot. That one looks somewhat decent. That one looks nice. 16,000, 20,000. A gilt dial, of course, that's going to be beyond 26,000, right? 17 and a half. $16,000, 24, $21. I mean, they're not cheap. Look at that. You can't touch these. You can't touch one of these for less than 16,000. There's a lot of them here, actually. Oh, these are all different countries, though, aren't they? Hong Kong, Germany, Singapore. $14,500. Look at this one here. Serviced. 1976. That was kind of nice. That's going to age with some nice patina, and it's in good condition. Look at that, 18,000, you see? In hindsight, I got to be very happy with that purchase. I mean, I paid 10,000. Hell, we're looking good. We're looking good, boys. We're looking good. Boy, you really would. You really have to love vintage and really, really desire a 1016 as much as you would desire a Daytona, for example, to pull the trigger at 17,000, right? I mean, this has got to be something you really, really want. But let me tell you, if you are going to buy a vintage Rolex watch, that's kind of the one to get. You know, it really is. I just don't know how to explain it. Just on so many levels, it's the one to get if you're looking for vintage Rolex, you know? Let's see what else we got to look at besides 1016s. Let's see what else we got. See you later, Rizzo. Hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at you know what? Let's stay and watch Recon and let's check out another Daytonas. Let's see what they're. $36, $33. Okay, here's one like mine. The 11650L00LN black dial ceramic, 30,000. There you go. Wow. I mean, that watch was hitting 50. That watch was hitting 50. They came down quite a bit, didn't they? Wow. Wow, look at the John Mayer green dial gold, 116,000. Are you kidding me? Wow. This Panda, 32,000 versus the black one is 30. I guess they're about the same price. Yeah, 31. Here's another black ceramic, 31. Here's another one in white gold, rubber strap, 42. There's another Panda, 34. Another black one, 32. So there you go. The Pandas are running 34,000. The black ones are running 32,000. Blue dial, just below 50. Man, I was looking when I remember when I was looking at those old Daytonas to buy. Remember when I was considering buying one of those Daytonas, one of the Newman Daytonas, but like the big, what was it, like the big red or something like that, whatever they're called. I forgot. There were some different old Daytonas we were looking at. I bet you those are just through the roof now, huh? Remember there was a couple we were looking at that were in the $75,000 range from that era. Uh, I bet you those ones are just. I bet you they're 150 grand now. They gotta be. They gotta be. Let's take a look at a Hulk. What's the Hulk doing? Hulks are clocking in at 24. They used to be up where near 35,000. This is still triple retail, 2.5 times retail, at least 24,000 for a Hulk. And Batman's are 19,000. It seems like they've come down to their more reasonable level, right? That Batman is a beautiful watch. That's one you do never want to sell. You don't ever want to sell that watch if you've got it. The Batman is just too perfect. It's probably the best GMT watch out there. The colors on that are just great. Oh, interesting. The original Batman looks like it's worth just a little bit more than the Batgirl. Actually worth a lot more because these are brand new 2022s and they're going for less than older Batmans. So the original Batman, because it's discontinued, and maybe quite frankly because of the bracelet, because there's no doubt in my mind that the original Batman is much nicer looking than the one with the Jubilee bracelet. I mean, there you got them right there to compare. I like that solid look that the OP bracelet gives. Those prices don't reflect current. What do you think the Batman is at right now, Bud, as an example? I like that. I like the Kermit. See this Kermit right here? Man, I've always loved this watch. This is a good piece to have in the collection. I'll tell you that. And if you have it, you don't want to wear it. You do not want to wear it. Man, I mean, for 18.5, I would pick this up over one of the newer watches that we just looked at. That's nice. That's nice. It'd be tough not to wear that. It would be hard not to wear that. I would want to wear that. But you can't hurt that bezel. That's the thing. Can't do it. It's hard. It'd be a tough call. Submariner, 11,500. The 114060. That's the older one, right? Or the newer one? That's the older one. 40 millimeter. Oh, look at the Calatrava. See that? 36.5. This, the fact that Patek Philippe discontinued the classic 5196 Calatrava and some of the other like models. I mean, the fact that they discontinue that was just a shockwave. That was just a shockwave through the Patek dress watch community. I mean, that's it. Now you want to walk into a store and pick up your most basic Calatrava, time only. You got to go on a wait list. Good luck. Here you are spending 36,000 secondhand on one. It's crazy. And so what did that do to aftermarket values for the prior discontinued model, the 5196? Bam, it just doubled their prices. Look, the watch game ain't over yet. Just because the economy has gone bad and this and that, not all watch brands went down in value. Lots of them went up. So this being one of them. And fpjourne, for example. That's an interesting looking watch. Look at this dial. That's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. I kind of like it. But yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. So let's just quickly go through the rest of this grid. That is all as I can stand, as I can't stand no more. I gotta go lay down. Here's my sub date, 13,500. I mean, the watch price is still looking good. If you guys remember, what was it like? I don't know, maybe 3 years ago now. It might have been about 3 years ago now that I tried to sell that same watch, the same one you're seeing right here. I tried to sell this to anybody watching for 10,000, right? Was it 9,000 or 10,000? I think it was 10,000, and it was even freshly serviced, unworn after the service, and nobody wanted to pull the trigger on that. Freshly serviced, polished one time by Rolex, and nobody wanted to buy that for 10,000. The only smart person that was watching that pulled the trigger on a watch from me was Fella. Fella bought my Daytona for 16,000, and it's worth 32,000 now. And it was a good example too. I even tried to sell this watch to somebody in my office, and I think I was giving him even a little bit of a better deal. I think I told him 9,000, and still, 9,000. Still, he didn't want it. He still wanted to wear his Tag Heuer. He could have had my sub date freshly serviced for $9,000. He didn't take it. I mean, I was going to take a loss on it at that point, right? Crazy. It's crazy. And all that changed very quickly. All that circumstance with the pricing changed very quickly. Oh, here's the new sub date, 41 millimeter. Let's compare the price. This one, 13.5 versus an asking of 14.5. Wow. Only $1,000 difference asking price. You see that? Isn't that interesting? Okay, I can't hold up anymore. Man, I would stay on here another hour and just go talking about looking at more and more. I'd want to go into Paddock next. I just can't do it, man. Fuck. Okay, this deep sea, that looks good. 15.5. I love that dial, and I've always said that, Rolex doesn't do many of these special dials, especially a dial that is like tied to something commercially. I mean, they don't make Star Wars Rolex watches. They don't make Snoopy Rolex watches. They don't make any homage to anybody, But this is it. This is like one of the only ones that, has something other than Rolex stamped on the dial. It says deep sea, and it's pretty interesting. I've always said that's going to be a really nice collector piece at some point. I'm surprised it hasn't been discontinued, to be honest. I would have thought that would have been discontinued even 3 years ago when I called for it to be discontinued, and they still haven't discontinued it. I'm very surprised. I would chalk the James Cameron Deep Sea as my most surprising non-event by Rolex. The fact that they haven't sold it, haven't discontinued it, that's the most surprising non-event. This Paddock, when I was looking at it, considering buying this one, it was 78,000 all day long. Let's see. And that was like 3-4 years ago. Let's see where it's at today. 79,000, same price. So this one hasn't moved in 3 years. You see? Hasn't gone up, hasn't gone down. It's pretty much right at its retail, I believe. Matter of fact. Anything else we want to look at real quick? Palm dial. The Palm Dial Jubilee 12,005. That one's kind of cool. I think Bud might have that one, the Palm Dial Jubilee. Yeah, I'd rather have the steel one over the ceramic. Right, for sure, of course, without a doubt. But, of course, one is wearable and the other is less wearable, right? I love I don't know if you call it the sheen that discontinued Kermit gives. I love the sheen on that steel green steel. It's just amazing. You don't get that on the ceramic, you know? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've looked at everything we wanted to look at. Had a good little briefing on Rolex prices. I think we're up to speed on where we're on where we're at with those things, right? I think we're up to speed on that. If you like Iron Maiden, don't forget to check out that Iron Maiden video. I posted 3 full videos that I taped when I was there at the Honda Center. And hold on a second. Well, it looks like that was perfect timing. I have to handle the DirecTV guy. We have a problem with our DirecTV. All right, so without further ado, you guys have a beautiful day. Please give me a thumbs up on the way out. I really don't. It just makes me feel better, I guess, you know. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day. Hasta la vista. Good way to say it.